What up, y'all? I'm JoeyKO with my broski, MixedMartialMike, and shots just got fired. David Haney just told Tank Davis to suck my but in all seriousness, he basically called out his resume and said Pedraza is the only high-level guy that Tank fought.
You don't gotta paraphrase it, dog. We got it right there. He never gonna fight nobody. He 27 with a Mickey Mouse belt, and the best person on his resume is Pedraza. Fuck out of here.
Yo, watch your mouth. Because it might be like a 3-year-old watching this, you know what I'm saying? Watch your mouth.
I think that's a weird thing to say to a child.
It's not mixed martial arts, Devin Haney's words. You know, YouTube literally asked me, is this for kids? And I say no.
It's crazy because a lot of people talking about resumes. So let's break it down. Let's break down David Haney and Tank Davis' resume and see who got the best resume. Off top, I think they're pretty even.
Never.
But we're gonna break it down and look at it. Who do you think has a better resume? Tank?
Haney.
Haney has a better resume than Tank?
Than Tank Davis,
okay,
for sure.
Okay, that's just pretty even. They both beat certain guys.
You absolutely insane.
Really? Yeah. Let's break it down.
Zaire Abdulayev fight when he won the vacant WBC interim lightweight title. That's his first world.
Yeah, but you know,
it was an interim.
Yeah, but that guy's not a high level guy. We don't know who he is.
This is how we're gonna break down these guys' resume because they haven't fought a lot.
He hasn't beat
Jorge Linares. He's been on a 4-fight winning streak.
And he knocked out Linares. Okay.
And that was this year in February. You see, don't underestimate people. That was his first chance.
So Haney, I guess he got a better resume than what you thought.
Already.
Even better than what you thought.
Then we got Yukioris.
No one here by that name.
I know, I get it. That name gets me too. But you're Yorkis Gamboa, which is...
Why did I even try that?
I don't know. You fucked me up because I was able to say the name and now I can't say the damn name. You're Yorkis Gamboa. I see. Don't fuck me up. Joseph Diaz was a good fight. Kambosos was a outstanding performance, right? And the Gamboa and Linares were good fights, but he got hurt in the Linares, especially. He got caught.
But Linares also hurt Lomachenko. So let's not.
Linares is great.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm pretty much saying.
So we just putting everything on the table, though.
Okay, so now.
So then now let's go to Tank.
But let's also mention the fact, the biggest one that you just fucking missed, and then he's gonna rematch him is George Kambosos Jr.
Yes.
But let's not understate the fact that he just beat Teofimo, who just beat Lomachenko. So he's the lineal champion. He's the lineal pound for pound of that division.
Yeah, so but we also know that was an upset win over not fully dedicated Lopez. I mean, he was smoking hookah the night before the fight.
That's true. He looked
camera,
sharp
on live.
Sharp in his last fight.
He didn't look sharp against Kambosos. So.
All right, Jose Pedraza, bro.
Oh yeah, well yeah. Oh.
He won his first world title.
Oh yeah, Pedraza. So he actually got a fight early on. Oh, he beat Cristobal Cruz. That's also a good name.
He beat Leon Walsh, defended against Leon. Then he fought Fonseca, who Ryan Garcia beat, but that's not a world beater or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying.
Okay, but he beat Gamboa, Leo Santa Cruz, Mario Barrios, Isaac Cruz. I give him a lot of credit. And the Romero fight, I would say that this is a pretty close resume.
Actually,
looking at it really well.
Actually, way closer than I thought. You just mentioned their name. You're not providing context. So when I'm looking at these names, right?
Well, we can add context too.
The context of Gamboa is that he beat him first, and that's critical.
Okay. Gamboa got knocked out by Tank Davis. He went to decision, and you could also mention the fact that he had a harder time with Tank than he did against Haney. So there's things to point out.
Who got the best opponent on their resume?
I mean, Isaac Cruz is a young guy in his prime.
Isaac Cruz is not better than George Kambosos Jr. Impossible.
I think Isaac Cruz can probably knock out
It's about to go down.
Well, that's your opinion.
That's an opinion, yeah.
People, they don't know how to fucking fucking.
It's my opinion. They have a fault.
You know
what I'm talking about. They have a fault.
Add that to the equation. We're talking about history, what's already happened, not what you think is going to happen.
These ain't opinions. These are facts.
My opinion is that Isaac Cruz is a better fighter, and if they fight tomorrow and he knocks him out, I was right.
No, you weren't, because that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about what's already been done. Who was more ranked at the time of the opponent? You just talking bullshit. You don't know what you're talking about. Credentials don't matter in the resume. What are you talking about?
He was ranked. He was ranked in the top 10.
He was top 10?
Of course, he would not fight if he wasn't ranked top 10. He would not be in that fight. Why would he even get the opportunity if he's not top 10? He had a better resume than the guy that was supposed to fight him. Much better resume. Francisco Vargas, Jose Romero, Diego Magdaleno, all in a row. And Jose Romero was undefeated. Was a Puerto Rican prospect. Those 3 fights in a row was better than anything that Romero, the other Rolly, did. Rolly hasn't done nothing. So that was a much bigger win. So I give him a lot of credit for the Pitbull crew.
Francisco Vargas
and the Pedraza are the 2 fights that I give Tank the most credit for. One of those 2 guys is the biggest win in his career to me.
But George Kambosos is bigger than any win he got.
As far as names is concerned, but as in reality,
name,
bro, let's look at
George Kambosos.
Let's look at his career. Let me shut you down.
About history.
Let me shut you down because this guy's a bomb. Like you crazy. You give him too much credit. He didn't beat a top-notch Teofimo Lopez. He didn't beat the best Teofimo, and we know that coming into the fight. We knew that he had a chance. Yes, he had a very good chance of losing.
Argue with you because
you're going to lose if you're not at your best. If you're at your best, you don't lose that fight. There's no way.
I don't disagree with
Look at Kambosos' career. He did not do anything close to deserve the recognition before the Teofimo fight. He won a close fight against a not fully prepared Teofimo.
But he fought Mickey Bay.
Mickey Bay was the second biggest win of his career.
That was a split decision
against a Mickey Bay who was inactive, and he won a split decision against this guy.
And Lee Selby,
who Mickey Bay wasn't even at his best.
To your point, his resume doesn't look like it looks like nobody's to me.
I can see his resume is decent. I give him credit for the Shelby and the Mickey Bay wins, but those are split decision wins against guys that are not at the very best, at the very top of the division.
The Oceanic lightweight title, they're not world titles.
Yeah,
they're titles.
He had a huge step up with Teofimo, and he upset the apple card and won the fight. Yeah. Let's not make this. Okay. Let's not give him credit like he's Mike Tyson now. No.
Maybe you convinced me there because maybe he's overhyped. He's
overhyped.
Okay.
Definitely overhyped.
Okay.
Kambosos Jr. will most likely not repeat that success again.
So I'm not gonna front. After all this conversation, the resume is much closer than I thought.
I was way off.
That's the whole point.
But it's just like when you win a tournament and you face the team that just won the chip, you're gonna get credit for beating that team. And that's what's happened. He just won the chip. So if you fight Devin Haney, you're gonna get more credit than if you fight Davis right now. Specifically right now.
And you got all the belts.
You got all the belts. That's what I'm saying.
You should want to fight Haney, but everybody seems to be worried about the IQ because he doesn't bring any spectacular skill that's like, he's not gonna knock you out in one round.
Which one?
Haney. I'm saying Haney.
True.
People are avoiding Haney because of his boxing IQ and the fact that he frustrates his opponents. With Tank Davis is different. He's a knockout artist, but even knockout artists seem to want to avoid David Haney.
He's spectacular.
Nobody's calling him out.
Yeah.
He's calling everybody out, and nobody's calling him out. And now he's getting disrespectful.
If he want the fight, he could have the fight because he's the WBA fake champion. He's not the he's just the Mickey Mouse belt.
What does he got to do? Will smoke his dead ops? What the hell he got to do next?
Yeah, gotta get
to get a fight. Because now, if I'm Tank Davis, I'm like, oh no, he's calling me a bitch.
Right?
He's saying I ain't never gonna fight nobody. He just said,
27, you too old already. Come on, fight.
Yeah, you 27 and 0.
No,
and your best win was Pedraza, which I don't think is a low blow. I don't know why he said that because Pedraza is world champion in 2 divisions and a high level guy, and He's in the mix.
Actually,
he even gave Lomachenko a hard fight.
Is that true?
What?
Is he the best fighter that he fought?
I would say between Pedraza and Pitbull. And Leo Santa Cruz, you got to say that too. I mean, he fought a couple of top-notch fighters, even though Leo's a naturally smaller man. But I give him credit. I mean, he was losing a fight, came from behind and got a knockout.
I was ready to say, damn, Devin Haney's resume is way better, but it's not. He's the lineal champion of the division, and no one could deny that. Devin Haney is the lineal champion of the division. That was what I was making the point of. And secondly, if you look at Leo Santa Cruz, you could negate that one a little bit because he just started in that division. That was his divisional debut. So he wasn't established in that division. So you don't get real credit in this division for that, in my opinion. Then you go over here to Yukioris Gamboa, and he did beat him first. So you got to give him that. He did beat Gamboa first.
And knocked him out.
Then you got, but he's not better than Pedraza was at the time. Pedraza was more ranked ahead of him. And
I believe he was undefeated when
Tank beat him, he was undefeated. Your point, you've been telling me that.
And he was already established, former world champion.
Right.
And just overall, we want to see these guys fight.
I got one question
Haney,
for you.
and I give him the edge as well because Haney, like I said, is calling everybody out, and Tank doesn't seem to want to fight. He's not in a rush to fight anybody.
Yo, I have a question for you for both resumes. Have either of them fought someone that Vegas had them as the losing fighter, or that the fans and the media were predicting them to lose?
They haven't been in that type of fight yet. The
so
closest,
they both have a little bit of things to prove still. They still got some time to prove. So that's why when they're calling each other out, that's so exciting because that's what they need. They need each other. Muhammad Ali wouldn't be incredible if he wasn't fighting guys like Ernie Shavers and Ken Norton, you know, all these legendary other guys, because then Muhammad Ali would have been fighting bums, quote unquote. But he was fighting other legendary guys, finishing them, incredible comebacks, fucking returning after a loss, avenging losses, you know, incredible trilogy.
Yeah, nobody's doing Muhammad Ali right now.
Not in divisions.
Nobody seems to be wanting to fight constantly against the top guys. They're not doing the Floyd Mayweather who was constantly fighting world champions at one point.
Right.
16 straight world champion victory.
And they all came off a big victory. If you do your research on Floyd Mayweather's prime in welterweight, before even the Conor McGregor fight, everyone had a large, huge, popular win before him fighting them. What do you expect to happen? Now that's straight.
I expect, honestly, this fight is not going to happen now because, like I said, Tank Davis and his team, they going to go the path the least resistance. They have an option, and I think that they're going to want to fight Ryan Garcia and Pitbull Cruz before Haney. And I think with Ryan Garcia, it's less likely to happen because they already try to make that fight happen twice. And, you know, Ellerby and these guys, they don't like to waste their time. So I predict that, you know, Tank is going to probably fight a rematch with Pitbull Cruz. It's the easiest fight for them to make. And I think David Haney is going to probably have to find another dance partner. And none of these guys are in a rush. Even now that he has all the belts and all these guys should be lining up to try to fight the king, I don't think anybody's in a rush.
Well, it shows you. Usually it's the challengers calling out the champion. You're actually seeing the champion calling out one of his challengers. Because what's happened in boxing is that there's no solidifying who's the real champion.
Well, another thing is that the money, usually historically, the money is with the belt. But right now, the money, no, fuck the belts. Tank is the cash cow of the division with no belt.
Oh, shit. True.
So he's the money fight.
Well, he got a belt.
WBA bullshit. That's a fucking McDonald's Happy Meal belt. That's not the real belt. Haney has all the belts. But there is no belts. Haney is the undisputed champion.
But he called it Mickey Mouse belt.
That's what it is. It's a fucking belt that they made up last week.
And they're doing that more.
Yeah.
They're getting real creative.
Yeah, and the belts look fly. I'm not even gonna lie.
No, I'm not gonna
these belts are the belt. These fake belts looking better than the real championship belts. and they wording them like world champions. How many world belts? Like, oh, you the regular champion.
They're running
the world champion. You the super world champion.
They're running on
no, you're the super duper world champion. You're the diamond champion.
You're the emerald.
You're the silver champion.
Gold, Pokemon belts.
What the fuck are we doing?
Yeah.
But that's boxing. That's the fucking horror.
But I think you was pretty much on the money because they've already announced Gervonta Davis. I don't know if you guys know. His next fight is scheduled for December. He said that on Twitter, and they're pretty accurate on that, and they're going to communicate that. I think Floyd Mayweather will be the one announcing the fight. And you're not far off. To your point where you said off screen, if he doesn't fight Ryan Garcia, then that rematch with Cruz sells itself. That's what we were saying.
And they both want it. The fans will be happy with it. I think it'll make
24/7s or whatever Showtime.
Yeah, it'll do more numbers in the first fight. Yeah. He's the last guy to go 12 rounds with Tank. So it makes a lot of sense.
The problem though, since he has a huge platform, bigger platform maybe, right? Maybe than ESPN, maybe not. The platform plays a huge role in it. They could pretty much orchestrate a big fight. It could be against a bum. Now it's a great fight because it's on Showtime and they're marketing everything.
You made a bad point because these are names. You could do a pay-per-view with Leo Santa Cruz. You could do it with skills as well. You can't do that with a bum.
BA, whatever these guys.
These are world-class fighters. What you're talking about is a bum. You can't do that with a bum. You need a name. And you're not going to pull that off with guys that he already beat unless it's a Leo Santa Cruz that went 12 rounds. And some people are saying that he won. They actually feel like, Isaac Cruz, they feel like he actually won. Some people do.
Okay.
So that makes sense. You can't do that with Romero. You can't do a rematch.
Yeah, because Gervonta Davis was backing up the whole fight. So people, of course, are going to, in some sort of way, they're going to think Cruz wins. I try to look at it from that vein as well. How could somebody think somebody won the fight? Like the De La Hoya Mayweather, I could understand what people think De La Hoya won the fight, but if you look at it closely, Mayweather won that fight clearly. But I could understand.
He wasn't very busy and he kind of gave away some rounds.
He landed some shots that you don't expect Mayweather to get hit by. Mayweather got way better at welterweight than he looked like against De La Hoya. Yeah. But that's irrelevant. I'm just mentioning the fact that we want these guys to fight each other, and it looks like if they're gonna start.
Yeah, don't get your hopes up. It's not gonna happen no time soon. But
what a guy to ruin.
Let's be honest.
Yeah, you probably
bullshitting. They're not gonna fight. But Haney sounds pretty frustrated. Give us your take. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Peace out, y'all.